Hello, welcome to the stream. Apologies that you weren't watching the music. I only just realised. Big ups for sticking it out though. Look, it's difficult to talk about something so big in such a negative way. You know, right now I'd want to be doing a party stream that we'd won the FA Cup, and we'd equaled trophies of Arsenal. You know, but I wanted to be doing that right now. But I'm not doing that. I'm having to do a match review on an FA Cup final we lost again. It sucks. It really does. You know, last season it happened, and this season it happened. But the players just went up to the plate this season, just like last season the FA Cup. You know, but that's been the story of the season. You know, that has been what this season has had to offer us. You know, just pain after some more pain and more pain. You know, it doesn't stop. We only have ourselves to look at, okay? We only have ourselves to look at. I'll read all the comments now, though. Big ups to everyone who's in the chat. We're going to go through it all. Sorry, let's be honest, we've been bad for straight 2 seasons. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about it all now. Okay. Big ups, this is Sissy. Big ups, Talsi, for tuning in on after having such bad vibes at the moment. You know, do appreciate it. But let's go from the top, shall we? Disgrace. How are we going trophy this FFS? That was the one trophy we could have won this season, and we are now in the same amount of trophies as Arsenal. And as ref didn't send off Dean Henderson, I hope we sell Sadinho and get Rodrigo past the cheats and keep on time wasting. Livid, spineless. Connect again. Sadinho is playing against us today. Sorry, let's be honest. We've been bad for straight 2 seasons. 4.5 hour journey for me now. The last season there was an obvious drop off, okay, but we managed to stick it out. A lot more players were still playing very well. Of course, Rodri was superb. Phil Foden was brilliant. Haaland was pretty good too. You know, we had a lot of players cooking for City last season. Okay, despite it obviously being a big drop off. You know, you could see that, you know, losing players like Gundo last season and Mahrez, and even Aymeric, having him on the bench was so good. Aymeric Laporte and other bad business, of course, too. You know, it's more than that. But for me, today, we can talk about the handball. Of course, we will. We can talk about other calls the ref made. Of course, we will. But today is not about that. Today is about us. Okay, we messed up today. We had the chances to do it. Okay, Palace took what they had. You know, 2 shots on target. Both of those came in the first 25 minutes of the match. You know, it's not their fault. We can do it. You know, we tested them. We threw everything at them. Well, did we throw everything? I don't know. We didn't throw enough at them, you know, but everything we had, we didn't take. We had a penalty, and we decided to let someone that isn't our penalty taker take it. Are we serious? You're the penalty taker, Erling, you know? Erling Haaland is Man City's penalty taker. He should be taking it. I love Marmoush. I still like Marmoush, okay? But in a game like this, you do not do that. You don't do it in an FA Cup final. You know, you didn't learn from against 2 years ago against Leeds when we were 2-0 up against Leeds, and you gave the penalty to Ilkay Gundogan. I'm going to talk about it all. I'm going to, trust me, I will. You know, we were 2-0 up. Ilkay Gundogan was on a hat trick, and you thought, I'll give it to him. You know, give him his hat trick. He hasn't scored a hat trick before now. Ilkay Gundogan misses the penalty, Leeds score, and we're under the cush for the final 10 minutes of the game. It didn't come back to bite us, thankfully. You know, it didn't come back to bite us. Okay, and so for all intents and purposes, it was swept under the rug, forgot about. We shouldn't have forgotten about it, man. Today, FA Cup final, even bigger than the Leeds game. Okay, the Leeds game was a crucial point this season when we needed to keep winning games. Okay, FA Cup final. You have a penalty. You are Man City's penalty taker. You take that penalty. Like you say, 600k a week. Supposed to be the best striker in the world. You've just signed a 10-year deal here. You do not give that penalty to anyone else, even if they want it, and even if you don't want it. You take that pen because it's your job. That's what you're paid to do. You're paid to step up in the big moments. If Man City don't get top 5, do you think Pep should be sacked? No, I've said this season, I'm Pep in all the way. Manager shoved Echemesi under the bus, doesn't even put him in the squad and throws him into the final. I felt bad for him. Yeah, I'm going to talk. I'm going to talk more on the penalties. I felt bad for Echeverri, but I would just like to say, just turning off my tab. I would just like to say, okay, I thought Echeverri was pretty good when he came on. Okay, he didn't set the world ablaze, no, but he was stringing out the passes, making good runs. He was doing good little bits, and he got into a good position to score. Okay, Echeverri getting into a good position comes with good positional sense. He knew to run into that space. Can I ask why no one else did that game? Don't get me wrong, we had a couple of good chances, okay? Like the ball in from De Bruyne early on, which Haaland barely doesn't score. It's a good save. Vardy's head on the corner. How come that was like one of the only times that we got into the space and we should have? That was like one of the only times. I felt bad for Marmich, to be honest. First pen in like 8 months, and first pen for City. Haaland ain't best striker anymore, Connect. Yeah, for me, I'm sorry. Haaland's got to be the guy there. He has to be. He has to be the dude. Echeverri, best player, but I'm sure this manager will throw him out of the squad on Tuesday Connect. Why are we always bad on corner? Our set pieces so bad. Saw LB in JSGC. How did you get a picture? If you did, awesome. But yeah, man. I just feel bad that they had to sit through that with you. I feel bad for every City fan that watched that. What a blinking shame. I hope we sell Sadinho. No. I'm not there, man. First season, he's 20 years old. Okay, I don't even think if this was a proper normal season, I don't even think he'd play all the minutes he have. No, let's not overreact now. It's Savini's first season. Adapting into City squad as a winger is one of the harder jobs to do because it's very restricted, as well as being open at points. You cannot be the best striker in the world if you don't step up for a pen in the final. Savino's a disgrace, can't make a simple cross. Wouldn't have had any chances without Echemesi, and Henderson shouldn't have been on the pitch anyway. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm fuming about the decision on Henderson. Yeah, he should have been off. He should have been, undoubtedly. He had to be sent off. Like, I'll pull it up. I pulled it up midstream. Sorry, Connect. We found a system, and he ditched it for Kanji and Haaland. It was working, man. It was working. Let me... I'm scrolling to the image, because I just can't. I just can't. I don't get it. Is that not clear and obvious? Number one, is that not clear and obvious? And how wasn't it a goal-scoring opportunity? On what planet is that not a goal-scoring opportunity? Because if I'm Haaland here, okay, bear in mind it's Erling Haaland. Haaland's probably going to try and either dink it over him, okay, and maybe run onto it and score, dink it over him entirely into the back of the net, or he's going to lightly tap it round him and then tap into the net. Henderson fully swipes at it and Haaland retrieves it like over here. Okay, by that time, defenders are back, Haaland turns, goalkeeper's probably back on his feet returning, players are probably getting back over here. You know, I don't get how that decision wasn't given. Okay, it's not the focus. It's not the focus for the game. You know, at the end of the day, this game is on us. Not the ref, not Palace, not any other outside force. It's on us because we had a penalty and we missed it. Penalty puts us back in it. At the bare minimum, we're playing extra time right now. Apparently, it wasn't a penalty that we got. Well, Mark Goldbridge said just as that we missed it. Didn't see the pen, so they don't give us any replays at Wembley, mate. For me, it was a pen. He doesn't touch the ball, and he completely takes Bernardo out. I don't know what Goldbridge is on about. I really don't. If it's a United player, he's definitely saying yeah. But again, if you don't score a penalty, then you don't deserve to complain about this properly. Okay, you had your golden ticket at the end of the day, and we didn't do it. Stuart Atwell's call for no red card in the first half was checked and confirmed by VAR. The direction Erling Haaland was going made it a possible but not obvious goal-scoring opportunity. They're clowns, man. They are genuinely crazy. Genuinely. What do you mean, a possible goal-scoring opportunity? I've never even heard that term used. I swear that's new. A possible goal-scoring opportunity. I need to stop going to Wembley, don't I? Oh, maybe just skip a year and see how we do. See if it's you, or just see if it's it. And the club doctor's clashing, by the way. Oh, man. By the way, big ups to Echeverry. You know, he came on and he put in a shift. You know, I really did appreciate Echeverry coming on. You know, he was the most exciting thing about that whole game for City. These players are spineless, by the way. And by the way, that Doku shot, okay, I said when it hit minute 99, okay, with 1 minute left to go, I said, all right, I want one of you to have a shot in this minute. I want one shot. If we don't test the keeper in this 1 minute we've got left, then what are we doing? Okay, I want one shot on goal. You know, it's got to hit the target. Doku produces mayhaps the worst shot of the game. At least up there. No one was willing to take a risk. No one. And the players that weren't good enough to and need to go. And the players that weren't good enough and need to go. Yeah, I know no one was a risk taker. You know? I'm not asking for every single shot to be outside the box, okay, hitting it like we were against Arsenal, because you remember that Arsenal game and our centre-backs were just wellying it every single time they got the chance. I'm not asking for that. Okay, I'm just asking for someone every once in a while just to give it a whack. And by the way, I don't like to blame the kids, and I'm not blaming them, but Nico Riley, he had a moment too where he got in a bit of space and he could have shot. But he tried to put it onto his strong foot and it just wasted the chance. Don't get me wrong, I get the feeling of wanting to take it on your strong foot. Alright, I'm not blaming it on him, okay? But you've got to just go for it. You've got to hit it at that time. You know, it was like less than 20 minutes to go. Just give it a hit left. Give it a go on your right. This is City, to be fair to Pep. We didn't find anything. We all believe Nunes was bad before we started to find our rhythm when Haaland injured on that Bournemouth game. Well, it was working though, to be fair. The Nunes at right back, it was starting to gel a bit. It started to work. Okay, it was starting to really solidify. You know, Canet Pep in or out. I'm in. Okay, I am in. But this needs to be taken seriously. Pep needs to grow. He needs to learn. Okay, that I'm not saying abandon possession-based football. Obviously not. But there's got to be a major turn in his in his in his style of play. Okay, he's got to crack something in the summer. Okay, if you've got an idea, test it out in the Club World Cup or pre-season. Test it out in one of them, or if you consider them the same thing, test it out in both. Kanji has ruined everything. He needs to be gotten rid of, or Pep will keep changing everything for him. I know. I had a feeling he'd start. I had a feeling he would. But do you know what annoyed me more? Okay, that goal Eze scores is so frustrating because I actually think if Akanji was just competent in that situation, I actually think he could have dealt with that easily. It's such an annoying goal to see because he's just not properly tracking the goalkeeper. He's not properly tracking Eze. He's just not. He's barely got an eye on him. I'm trying to find where I can maybe watch a replay for the goal. You know, he's just not like. I'm just glad the commentators, by the way, said it was a red, by the way. Alright, here we go. Okay, I want to watch it. I'm going to watch it in splices because I don't want, copyright. I'm hoping that you're going to be able to see it. Okay, here we go. So, Akanji, okay, Eze is Akanji's man. I put him in my predicted 11, by the way. I put Akanji in my predicted 11 because I said, again, at the Etihad, okay, it was so easy for Eze to get into good spaces because Núñez isn't a proper defender, okay, and he hadn't found out, okay. So I suggested maybe having Akanji in your team, okay, so you got someone that's defensively solid. Worst mistake I ever made, wanting that. Okay, he does a check. Okay, he's trying to see where he is. Check's there. You know, he's doing another check now. He's just constantly doing checks. I'm convinced he barely knows where the ball and Eze are because he's constantly doing checks. Don't get me wrong, doing checks is good. Okay, you're meant to. It's an important thing to get right in football, but he's just constantly doing it. And I'm convinced he's got no idea where Eze properly is or the ball properly is by the time it's going in for him. He needs to watch that better. He's the guy that was probably put in this team to help deal with Eze because we struggled last time. What do I go and see? Just awful stuff from him. Simple. Fail next season, and he should go. The style of play is genuinely the worst in the league. Everyone's scared to go forward, and no one is ever in the box. Yeah, I do think serious questions need to be asked because last season there was a drop off. Okay, won the Prem though, so it was fine. This season, a bigger drop off. Just about scratching Champions League football, and we're going trophyless. Next season, if it's another drop off, how far does it go? Do we even get European football? I mean, Conference League. VAR custers. VAR was bad, don't get me wrong. The Henderson needed to go, but but we need to take responsibility because we had what it took to get back in. And Kanji's rusty. I think Núñez would have been better. There is that too. Akanji's barely been back, and the moment he's fit, bam, Akanji, get in. Man, you know, bruh. See my Akanji can't connect. And Akanji should go. She's such a big bottle job in big moments. Do you remember if it was Edison or Ortega? He'd be long gone, and you can't deny it. Yeah, I mean, sorry for the loss, man. It's really sad to see have had this big of a drop off. Welcome to the chat, Juve Corner Cast. I don't think I've seen you here before. But yeah, big ups for tuning in. Dean Henderson's disgusting. Do we know what Pep and Dean Henderson's exchange was? Because I know they exchanged some words and Pep didn't look happy. Big ups to everyone in the chat. Smash the likes, 10 people. Yeah, big ups to everyone who is in the chat, by the way. I really do appreciate it. Sorry for not really pointing it out. I'm just on a bit of a rant because I don't get what goes through our players' heads sometimes. And just subscribe, brothers, to Juve Cornercast. Oh, well, big ups, man. Every sub helps. Really do appreciate that. Now, we'll be playing you guys. I'm assuming you're a Juve fan. We'll be playing you guys in a few weeks. Hopefully that bears more fruit for us, but I'm not going to hold my breath. But big ups for subscribing, bro. I'm going to see what had to be said. Let's go here. Henderson, I just want to shake his hand. I think he's disappointed. Time wasting. So Pep was unhappy with the time wasted. I don't blame him, but look, time wasted is part of football at this point. Doing perfectly well without football. We should do a collab one day, bro. Hey, hit me up on Instagram or on Twitter and we can talk. And we can talk about what you like to do. Yeah, but big ups to you, Juve Cornercast. Always great to have rival fans who are chill. I know we're not really rivals because, you're an Italian team. But always good to have fans of other teams in the chat. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Doing perfectly well without Haaland, and he returns to football. No goals in 5 halves of football. Big up to the chat, smash the likes, centre for music. Don't worry, Pep, we'll have him and the squad out again on Tuesday. O'Reilly got us to the final, doesn't shoot today. Why, you think Tuesday already? That would be cool. I hope to see Nunes back in. Is Kova hurt? Yeah, I'd like Kova back, probably, and I think I would like Nunes back too. Just don't start Kanji. And I'm tempted to not say don't start Haaland. Why not? Why not change it up when something don't work? I don't care if he's Erling Haaland, okay? And just as much if we were on a bad run with prime Kevin De Bruyne, okay, and De Bruyne was struggling to produce, just as much as I wouldn't want, I want to switch it up with him a bit. How can he be the best manager in the world and not find a way to engage with the best striker? I know big managers should be able to find should be able to make the right calls, and we've struggled with that a bit more as of late. Can I give ratings for every player that played today? Yeah, sure, why not? Okay, if you just let me get lineup builder prep, this won't take long. Let me know what you guys are rating the players. Of course, I'll give you my personal ratings. Yeah, I can assure you it's not going to be high for many players. I can assure you. But I don't think that's coming as a shock for anyone. So share tab. I know it's not got the players yet. Seriously, we were doing better without Haaland. Maybe Pep needs to use it different. Ortega should have got up quicker. Sadinho, leave my club and somehow sick and tired of you. No, I don't think Sadinho should be the guy we're looking at. Don't get me wrong, he didn't have a great game today, but the problems go deeper than Sadinho. Sadinho debut season, he's not done bad. Akanji Walker's every throw, by the way. He comes back in and we're back to losing. Get him gone. He is spineless. Do you agree there's no place for players like Akanji? Don't care. For me, you've got to care. I do think I'm going to save most of my thoughts of players that should go and players that should leave. I want to do a stream about it soon. I'm going to do a proper keep, sell, loan, but to be honest, I'm not going to be loaning many players very soon. So, yeah, just be ready for that. We'll do a stream, all of us together, contributing towards it. and see what we come up with. Oh, that orange is a bit weird, isn't it? Let's make it a tad bit more orange. There you go. Right back today. Kanji. Diaz. Oh, Blankanek. Diaz at DM. I don't think I've seen that before. I will obviously change that in a second. Vardio. Am I clicking the wrong thing here? Have I done that twice in a row? Or is it just bugging? Let's see how it does here. O'Reilly. Doku would have been Marmouche. Sadinho. And then it would have been De Bruyne. Bernardo. And Haaland. There we go. That is our players. Anyone saying no to Rodrigo is insane. This guy can make a simple cross and can't get a shot on target. I see my full Akanji comment. Is it only me? Is he walking to take throw-ins? I believe he was. Yeah, Akanji walking to take every throw-in. He comes back in and we are losing the game. Gone. Do you think we'll get top 5? Yeah, I think we will. I think we will. I think we're going to manage it. I think you should take the ratings based off a stats website. Yeah, I think we will get top 4, top 5. I think we're going to get Champions League football. But the fact that we are even having that conversation of, we might get Champions League football needs looking at. You know, the fact that we are having that convo is crazy. Yeah, I probably should have a look at a way to do ratings a bit easier. No chance none of these players. No, we will not make top 5. I'm going to hold out hope. 2-1 lost to Bournemouth, 4-1 lost to Bournemouth for summer this season. Oh, gosh. All right, shall we start with the goalkeeper? I haven't actually had a look at Ortega on the goal. I'm just going to quickly watch the goal back. It's not an easy one for Ortega. Fulham don't win Tuesday, and seriously, every player. I think if we don't win Tuesday, I don't think we get top 5. I'll say that. We have to win. Kova's injured. Damn. Is he actually? I don't think there's much Ortega can do in that, and I think on everything else, he was basically fine. I'll give him a 6. Akanji, I'm giving him a 3. I can't think of anything good he did. Every time he even went forward, I feel like it was just poor. Like, I remember he whipped in like an awful cross a couple of times. Like, it was hard to watch. O'Reilly, I'm going to give... I don't want to be harsh on the youngsters. I'm giving him a 6. He had a couple of moments where he looked a little shaky, but I also think he had some decent moments, so I give him a 6. Backline... I felt they actually looked a tad off the pace, you know. Oh, sorry, Vardio. Blinking not that far off the pace, bro. I think they actually looked a tad off the pace. Just, they didn't quite look like they had their A game in them. So I'm giving them a 5.5 each. Again, big ups everyone who's tuning in. Let me know if you think I should change any of these. Kevin De Bruyne. I think at the attackers he wasn't bad. It wasn't too bad. He made some stuff, but I think he was also a little bit sloppy. I give him a 6. I don't want to diss him on his final big game for us. Bernardo, I shouldn't think he did anything. I can't think of Bernardo in my head. I know he passed the ball around a bit and helped us control it a bit, but I genuinely don't think he contributed to us much. I really don't. So because he didn't really do anything, I'm giving him 5. Control. He helps control games, but we didn't need control at that time. Doku, I'm giving. What am I giving Jeremy Doku? Am I giving him? I think I'm giving Doku a 5. I just thought he was poor. I wonder. Bid for Rangers tonight showed immediate intent. Bernie should be a 4. I still don't understand the penalty. Why not Haaland? That's his thing. Bernardo, this guy's short legs. Doku 6.5. I don't know. Like, he was trying, but he was failing almost every time as well. And he had that awful shot at the end, which just buried us. Sadinho, I do think he was poor. I know I was defending him, and I know Tassi for saying that he wants him out. I don't want that. But I do think he was poor. Something I big up Sadinho for is his creativity and way to whip in a cross. I've never really bigged him up for his shooting. But today, I don't really think he shot, but I felt like when he tried to create, it didn't really work out either. He had a couple of decent moments, like a couple of alright balls. I'll give him a 4.5. Doku 3, he was one of the better guys. Sadinho, can we go into negative ratings? Yeah, I'm sorry, Sadinho. I really am. I hate to be that guy, bro. I'm trying to be not harsh on him because it's like his first season. I'm gonna have to give him a 3. Get Rodrigo instead. I think you can have both. Sadinho, decent corner. It's Vardio. Why do we suck so bad at corners? Well, for me, why didn't we have Marmoush on corners, by the way? Marmoush was the guy who whipped in the last successful corner goal, which was against Forest in the semi-final. Why haven't we done that again? Why haven't we whipped the ball? Why hasn't Marmoush been on corners since then? I swear he hasn't. Maybe I'm wrong. But I genuinely can't remember a time that he has been. Marmoush, he did miss the pen at the end of the day. I feel bad that he had to take it. I don't know whether he wanted it. I don't know if Haaland said, you're taking it. I don't know what the context was, but at the end of the day, he missed a pen. I can't get past that. And he didn't really... I hate being this harsh, but I have to be. Tarsi from this fan base tell me we don't need a player like Rodrigo, and they all call me deluded. I wanted to release it last summer. By the way, we got linked to, I believe it was Elise or Doku. Okay, we got linked to both. Okay, but the options were Elise or Doku, I believe. We went for Doku. There's no diss onto... Well, I mean, it kind of is a diss onto Doku, but... just shows what we could have had. And look at him smashing it and buying now. It's a game that we needed a good set piece, and we haven't had a good corner in a while. That's the only thing that we try to do is find Haaland at far post. So dumb. I know when we do, we're just so predictable with Haaland. Haaland, your main thing is meant to be pen taker. You're supposed to be the best striker in the world. Why did you let Marmoush take it? No disrespect to our Egyptian prince, but why was he taking it instead of Haaland? I don't know the context, Did Marmoush say, bro, I'm taking this? But, Haaland looked like he willingly gave it. Like, he kissed the ball and then gave it to him. I want to know the context. Look, I feel bad because he didn't get tons of service, but he actively made the decision to give Marmoush a pen. Okay? For me, okay, Haaland is the guy that gets the last say. He is the guy that gets the last call. When you make a call that big, just like Pep when he makes a bad call in a big game, okay, we criticize him for it. This is similar. When you make a big call in a big game and you mess and it goes wrong, it's on you, not the other guys. Okay, don't get me wrong. Marmoush, it's his fault for missing the pen, but it's Haaland's fault that Marmoush was taking the pen in the first place. Mentality. You've got to think when Bernardo goes down, the ref blows his whistle. I want Haaland envisioning that he's on that penalty spot and the ball's already nestled. Marmoush took a corner and we haven't scored on it since. Haaland 0. Yeah, I really want to know that convo. And that's why he's joining Sadinho Akanji in the free club. I don't give threes a lot. Lowest rating I've ever given is a 0.5. I think it was Foden versus Liverpool. Because it was just crazy. I genuinely think he got absolutely nothing right. Now then, let me know if you want to change. Let me know if I've been too... I've probably been a bit too kind here. I try to not be super negative, but I've obviously got to be here. I've got to make it clear that today wasn't good. It was far from it. I think I'm going to drop Doku to 4. Because again, I just don't think he did anything right. I think I'm happy at the back line. I'm not going to give man of the match to anyone, to be honest. It was such a hard watch today, Blues. So bad. Pep Guardiola for after the game here. Here we go. Marmoush penalty. They decided on the pitch. I don't know. I didn't speak with them. I don't know. Better than the Southampton game. We were more active. We really were good in many things. We created a lot, didn't score. That's why we didn't win. With 11 Crystal Palace players in the penalty box, we created a lot. I think we fixed in the last month the problems that we had all season defensively, scoring goals. We gave away a lot, and a lot of goals. And last period we were so stable. We conceded 5 goals in 9 games. We are stable. Where was that? Doku all game was brilliant. Inspiration behind bringing in Echeverri. My inspiration. I'm a Tanzan manager. I want to be honest, that was not a bad decision. The way he played, the chances he had. 3 chances in small spaces, I thought, because of that. I saw him in training sessions. Listen, there is Cusano, Vital Hayes, and him in the last 4 or 5 games. Always Tribune, don't like that. I know it's special maybe, but it's an FA Cup and it should go to the other ones, but he's playing and moving really well in small spaces, so creative in that, and I fought during the game in those last minutes to find something. Echeverri was begging for the ball and no one would give it to him. I think he got the ball 5 times in the 20 minutes he was on. You just know Echeverri will be back out squad on Tuesday. He should be on the first name on the team sheet. Yeah, for me, it should be one of those calls. Nico Riley, when he played brilliantly against Bournemouth and helped win us the game to send us to the semi-final, he got rewarded the following week and started games and has been starting since then because he deserved it. For me, start Echeverri. Give it a go. Throw Bournemouth off. Throw him off, please. Bernardo Silva and City And Bernardo Silva and KDB operated as the City holding midfield, and it was due to the COVID injury. COVID not played doesn't feel good. Why don't you use Nico Gonzalez, bro? 60 million euros. 60 million. And you decided, as opposed to playing Nico Gonzalez, I will play Bernardo and De Bruyne, two players that are attacking players for most of their careers. What? Come on. So most crucial. And there you go. That's it from Pep. It's a loss for words. And look, it really does show this season. You know, just pain after pain. We're not getting a good moment this season. You know, thought we could have some joy. Thought we could smile today. No, that's why. Yeah, why not Nico J? I like him. He's barely played since like March. Why was Pep playing attacking players in the DM? He should have played Nico. I know. I don't get why. He's 60 million euros, and he's probably not started 10 games, bro. Come on. We signed Nico for a reason. Yeah, we did. Okay, and it's just like, no, we're not going to go with that. Look, I appreciate the support as per usual, Blues. Today was a bad day for City. Okay, but do you want the truth? I've got a theory. Okay, I think you're going to see a Rangers development tomorrow. Okay, here we go. Maybe not, but I think you're going to see big Rangers developments tomorrow. I think City are going to want to get a positive PR back out there. You know, I think it's going to be a big media move. Get movement on the Rangers deal. Maybe it won't be here we go. Maybe it won't be bid accepted, but it might be personal terms done, or personal terms almost there, or bid accepted, now personal terms, or final stages, you know, something like that. Like this, as he once said in his live streams, he can't start over the likes of Bernardo. If you can't start over the likes of Bernardo, then he'll leave next summer 2026 because Rodri will be next season. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting future for Nico G because I don't get the role he's got. 60 million and he's hardly played. Greer should have been better than Doku, might have drawn fouls. Yeah, true. Anyway, big ups to Sense of All Music, by the way. I don't think I've had you in this chat before. You know, we had Juve, the Juve guy in here before as well. So big ups to everyone that tuned in. I really do appreciate the support as per usual. You know, everyone is just huge to the channel. And yeah, this stream got almost 150 views, by the way, guys. So yeah, great stream despite the poor result. Big ups to you all. Hopefully tomorrow we can speak about some good transfer news. But also hopefully we can speak about a win on Tuesday, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Big ups to you all, guys. I'll see you on the next one.